We are now going to look at the TOEFL speaking test, task 4. In this test, you have to first read a text, then listen to a talk about the same subject. Usually the text and the talk represent different points of view about the same subject, and the question is usually to contrast the two different points of view, not to give your opinion. Your strategy is to first underline or highlight the important words in the text. In other words, the words which highlight the essential and important parts of the text. So the text here is talking about the advantages of group work, and there are 3 main points it makes. Firstly, working in a group can be quicker because you have many people working on the same job. Secondly, the group work can be more creative. And thirdly, people may be bolder or braver in their work and expressing their ideas. Now, when you listen to the talk, you should also have 2 or 3 advantages of working by yourself rather than in a group, or rather disadvantages of working in a group. So remember, you don't have to understand everything you hear, you just have to pick out the 2 or 3 important disadvantages of working in a group.
Now listen to part of a lecture on the topic you just read about.
Now, you've all read about the benefits of teamwork, and you may even have done group work in school. Although working in groups is common these days, some people do not realize that this style of work is not perfect. Many people fail to consider the common problems of group work. Group work often takes longer than individual work. In a group, decisions must be agreed upon by everyone. However, each team member has a different idea on how the task should be completed, so it is difficult to reach group agreement. Some groups find themselves debating the same issue over and over, rather than working toward their goal. This negotiation process wastes time that could otherwise have been used to complete the task. In fact, group work is rarely more creative than individual work. In a group, most team members tend to follow a single leader who comes up with all the ideas. In other words, 1 or 2 strong personalities may dominate the group discussions, and other team members may be afraid to express their ideas. So the team does not benefit from having many different perspectives. When this happens, the strong leaders end up being like traditional bosses, and the purpose of teamwork is ruined. A third issue is the free rider problem. Teamwork is less burdensome to each individual, for sure. However, some people make a bad use of this feature of teamwork. When there are many people working hard on a team, a lazy worker may find a way to sit back, relax, and let the other people do all the hard work. When the project is finished, however, all members of the group get equal credit. This can be a great burden on the group, and it can harm worker satisfaction.
Okay, now you have to speak your answer into the microphone, although as you are working with me, you will of course write your answer, as I have instructed in the text. If speaking, you have about 1 minute to speak. So what were the 3 disadvantages mentioned by the speaker? Firstly, decisions can take longer. Secondly, people often follow a few dominant people in the group. Thirdly, some people can be lazy. So these are the three areas you have to contrast with the advantages mentioned in the text. Don't be afraid to use the ideas and maybe even give your own example of what might happen in practice. Okay, students, thank you for listening. Bye bye.